How to square this club up. Some good golf, a stable environment. This club's going at a fair rate of knots coming down to the ball. Square up into impact. That keeps the stability throughout the whole golf swing. Really love that. And pieces of the jigsaw up here. Result, you don't need to make any adjustments and any corrections. You need the opposite. So what can we do to square this club up so there's a semicircle to your golf swing? That is the ultimate in consistency. I can't feel it down there. To give this club the best chance to square up into impact. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Warren Bennett. Trev's down there waiting patiently, and welcome to a cloudy but nice quiet day here at the middle range at Chesterfield. So as you can see from the title or the thumbnail, how to square this club up. This club's going at a fair rate of knots coming down to the ball. So how can we give this club the best chance to square up into impact? And if we can do that, hopefully you're going to get a bit more consistency. So I'm going to give you a couple of drills and a couple of feelings for you to layer into your swing. So when you go onto the golf course, not only are you going to hopefully see some result, but you're going to understand how to do it properly. So back camera setup, Trev's pretty chill down there. I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay everyone, thanks very much for joining me, and hope everyone's out there playing some golf and hopefully some good golf. So what can we do to square this club up? Because as we know, it's going at a fair rate of knots. But there are some ways that we can move certain parts of our body to give this club the best chance to square up into impact. Because I don't know about you, I can't feel it down there. So I need to make the correct motions and give myself the correct feels to give that club the best chance. And obviously, unfortunately, it doesn't happen every time, but we can give ourselves the correct feelings to be able to influence this club and get it back square into the golf ball. Let me tell you all about it. So the video is going to be broken down into a little bit of drill work, some visuals to give you, and then how to layer it into your swing, because that's the most important thing. We don't want to stand there doing drills all day, and your drill feelings aren't necessarily the ones you're going to take onto your full swing. Okay, so let's get going. So what I would say is the club square doesn't happen early. Looking at the golf ball early, that's not correct. Especially if you're a golfer that's over the top, you need the opposite. You need this club to be dropping back behind you, so it's inside, square to inside. That is the ultimate in consistency. If you can do that, if you can get this club dropping under 3 o'clock and then into impact and then round the other side, so you've got an arc, that's going to layer the most consistency into your golf swing and into this club. So there are some movements we can do that. I'm going to just show you a little visual just to help, and then we can layer that onto a drill. Right, so I'm going to put it on the tee every time so I can hit it from the same spot. As you can see, I've put 2 sticks either side of the ball. The more you can get the club working down plane, the more chance you've got this club to square up naturally. If you're over plane, you're going to have to make a compensation with your wrists and your hands to hold on. Generally it's a high right or a smother. So feeling this, I'm going to call it inside, it's not, it's square to square really, but we're going to call it inside just for the video. So inside, square to inside, and then you can layer some swings onto that. So we're going to stop halfway to start with, phase 1. Okay, tiny pumps through. So we're going to really allow this club to drop onto plane, come from the inside slightly, because that's when the arms and the hands take over, to release back into square, just to give it a reminder. From here now we're going to start rotating the club round as well as our body, keeping our head still. You can let the follow through go if you a little bit. But just for the sake of phase 1, we're just going to break it down either side of the ball. You can see my hands haven't hit my right shoe yet, so I'm not doing like the snap exercise. We're introducing a little bit of arc to this now. So we're practicing from here, the release down into the ball. There we go. Remember, you can't feel this, so it's good practice to do away from hitting full shots. And that's first phase. If you can do that, you can move on to second phase. If you can't do that, stay with first phase. Practice swings, down, keep looking at the ball, check it if you like. Okay, down, you can see what my hands are doing. The bottom of my club's going slightly left here, it's not going out at all, keeping the club open. So I'm now matching up, it's called, and then turning through. So it's inside, square to inside. And those 3 balls have gone pretty much in the same position. I'd like you to do the same. If you can do that, you can move on to phase 2. It's the same as phase 1, but we're going to stop at the top, but now we're just not going to stop halfway down. So we're going to feel like we're going to swing it through here and then carry on. We're going to blend these pieces of the jigsaw up here. So back, swing and stop. Okay, prepare, nice and light and slow, and then through. Gets a little bit tricky now. Stopping at the top just gives us a little bit of time to prepare. Okay, feel it behind, through, beautiful. Release and the rotation of my forearms and wrists, as well as the rotation of my body, my shoulders and my torso, and the weight shift going onto my front leg, all produces a stable environment for that club on the way through to square up. Very hard place to work on. I call it the internals. Hip height, back to impact, and hip height. So what squares the club up is being on plane, and then the rotation and of your torso, belly button, forearms, wrists, and that squares that club up. So on plane to start with, and then rotation all on the way through. Really love that. If you're struggling with getting the club on plane, you can just really focus on phase 1 here, getting the club really behind you, and then you really practice snapping that club with that arc on the way through. Let me show you one of those. But now we're going to really introduce some nice rotation, really get through the ball. So we're really carrying on our follow through, you can see there. So you can do phase 1 with a longer follow through, because you can really guarantee being on plane there. Okay, we're going to rotate our hands, forearms, belly button, and turn through nice and still with the head until it gets pulled up with the shoulder. So if you're a golfer that's opposite to that and you know you're going to drop it on plane, okay, you can really put all your eggs in the basket of the rotation to really square that club up. So you know you're going to do this. So if it was me, I know I do this really well. So I'm going to really put my eggs in the arc basket, the post impact. So I'm going to really feel my club going round a little bit more, nice and still with my head. And then really feel the rotation on the way through. A little bit lent into, I didn't rotate too much there because I blocked it out to the right. So the balls told me I got a little bit late and laggy into that. I didn't rotate enough. Probably got a little bit out there. So even a short little shot like this, the ball is the best teacher. So now I'm going to really focus on getting some rotation now of forearms, wrists, body, instead of leaning into it, which I did a little bit there. Because the divot told me to strike a bit deep and the ball went to the right. Across that arc post impact. There we go. Started a little left, so the ball's telling me which area of the arc to work on, how to square that club up. So just a few balls will tell you which area to work on. Very rarely you need to work on both, to be fair. So just only a few golf balls will tell you which arc to work on, pre-impact or post-impact. A lot of club golfers over the top, toppers are across, and they have too much arc left too early. So you need to put your eggs in the kind of the pre-impact position here. So work a lot on phase 1, and then letting that go from there, and then blending it up with different speeds without stopping. So this is always a tricky one. And then letting it go, letting the club pull you through, because if you come into the ball squarely, the club will pull you through to the finish position. You don't need to make any adjustments and any corrections. Inside, butt of the club looking down that line, back into square, so now you're matching up, and then you're rotating round. So there's a semicircle to your golf swing. Remember, the backswing's a little bit more linear, unless you want to work on complete one plane backswing, which is fine. But I like it a little bit more out and away from you to give yourself the chance here. But remember, what squares the club up is the rotation from plane of your wrists, your forearms and your torso. That keeps the stability throughout the whole golf swing. You can do this little exercise if you want, so a little pump from inside square to inside square to inside. You can do it really slowly if you like. Let the club swing over the ball or the tee down there. Okay, I'm not rushing. You can see from here, bringing the club back into square. There's that late snap, and then bring it round. Bring it round. It's the arc of the golf swing squares that club up. If you want ultimate consistency, You want the club to be square, square and square. And the golf ball, depending on what your shape is and what your fault is, will hopefully straighten out. Okay everyone, so thanks very much for joining me, and I love working at this kind of internal position because it's a position that we can't feel, but we can influence it if you do some exercises. And next time you go to the golf course, think of this semicircle, especially if you're casting, if the club comes out too quickly. You want to feel this club on plane. Remember, inside, square to inside. That is the ultimate swing for consistency. Okay everyone, so thanks very much if you've made it this far, and Fred's waiting very patiently there because I've hid his tennis ball in my golf bag, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for supporting a little channel like this. Every view, every like, every comment means so much, but hopefully I'm out here to help you enjoy this game a little bit more, and the only way to do that long term is to understand why your golf ball does what it does, and then hopefully I'm here to give you some ideas to hopefully change and fix that. Okay everyone, so for myself, Trev, and a cloudy middle range here at Chesterfield, but it's nice and dry and pretty warm. We'll see you next time. Have a great golfing week, stay healthy on and off the golf course, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.